but I don't really have time to chat right now. Oh, come to think of it, I haven't seen Twirly Whirly in a long time. But no, now's not the time for that. I was originally looking up some information at the House of Dana, but the more I read, the more I realized that my thesis is horribly lacking. I should have been done with the first draft of my thesis by now, but I've barely written a third. Well, I guess I have to keep looking up as much info as possible. I shouldn't give up now. But who am I kidding? Maybe I'm not cut out to be a researcher. Maybe I shouldn't have come to the academia in the first place. All I've done is cause trouble for my advisor and classmates. I should probably notify my advisor sooner than later, so he can focus his attention on the other students. No, I don't even have the guts to bring it up, and I haven't completely given up yet. To be honest, I haven't slept a wink for days. Just thinking about the awful state of my thesis keeps me up at night. Lack of sleep hinders my ability to focus, and if I can't focus, I can't do any proper research or thinking. I'm stuck in a vicious cycle. I've seen the caliber of the other academia students. They're all geniuses and fast learners. I'm nowhere near as gifted as they are. Oh, if it wasn't for someone who's been helping me out, my advisor probably would have kicked me out of the Darshan by now. Huh? What's that? A fungus with a long beard? There's no such thing. Though, if there were, I'd love to give it a pat or two. This might sound strange, but I actually don't know who's been helping me. I don't even know if they're a person or not. Due to my lack of sleep, I sometimes get dizzy and faint when I'm stressed out. Yeah, but oddly enough, when I wake up, all the things I was stressing over are taken care of. My homework's somehow finished before the deadline, and my papers are perfectly written. But that's not all. My flowers are watered, laundry's done, even my broken camera was fixed. I really don't know what's going on, but for now, I'm calling the phenomenon a blessing from the stars. Maybe the stars above decided to help out after seeing all the effort I put into my research. If that's even possible. But there's no point in me studying at the academia if I keep relying on this mysterious phenomenon. It comes down to my own efforts, improving one step at a time. How else can I honor my parents and live up to the expectations of everyone who knows me? Oh no, I've already spent too much time chatting. I still haven't made much headway on my thesis. At this rate, I'll need the Wisdom Seeley's help. Yes, but time's of the essence, so I have to take what I can get. Sorry, I'm just making excuses. But The Wisdom Sealy is truly amazing and freely shares its endless knowledge. Oh, if you want its help, all you have to do is write down your question and you'll get a response a short while later. No one knows who or what it actually is. It's just known as the Wisdom Sealy. But getting an answer all comes down to the Sealy's mood. Sometimes it'll only give you a vague answer or play tricks on you. I'm pretty sure a researcher wouldn't do something like that. All I can do right now is hope that it helps me. Who knows if it'll happen this time? I can't put all my eggs in one basket. Trying my luck with another phenomenon is better than doing nothing. Oh, really? But I don't want to take up your time. Sorry for the bother. You're too kind. Okay, let's go give it a try. I've already prepared my question for the Sealy. I just hope it can help me get through this predicament. Among the countless legends surrounding the House of Dana, the Wisdom Sealy is one of the more popular ones lately. It hasn't been around for long, but word of the Sealy's existence spread like wildfire. Many people have claimed that they've received a reply from it. So, it should probably help me as well, right? I don't know its name, and we have to keep our voices down in the House of Dana. Or else you'll get some scary glares from the Mahamada. Let's split up and ask around about the Sealy. Hopefully someone knows something more. Excuse me? Have you ever heard of the Wisdom Sealy?
You've come to the right person. I came across this legend not too long ago myself. After hearing about it, I decided to test it out and asked it a question about the brightness of the stars. 2 days later, I got a response. It included 2 pages of detailed and accurate information. It saved me from having to look up a ton of resources.
Really?
Yeah, so I submitted another question a few days ago. I still haven't received a reply, though.
That sounds like what others have said. But I don't have the time to wait for a reply if the Sealy doesn't answer right away. Whatever. Can you please tell me how to submit a question to the Wisdom Sealy?
It's quite simple. Go to the bookshelf over there and find either Theoretical Astrology or a quick reference guide to astrology cases.
Oh, I know where those are. My Darshan has us use those 2 books quite often.
Okay, so write your question in a letter addressed to the Wisdom Sealy, and then insert the letter into one of the books. Come back in a day or 2, and if you see a red stamp on your letter, that means the Wisdom Sealy has replied. However, if the stamp never appears, then that means the Sealy doesn't want to answer your question.
I see. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go write down my question. Hopefully the Sealy replies. Finally. I wrote out my question and put it in the book. Wait, I guess. Let's give it some time. I'll come back tomorrow to check on it. Don't worry about me if you have other things to do. I see. Thanks. I appreciate it. Alright then, let's meet up here tomorrow. I really hope the Sealy replies. to look at the letter. Please let there be a stamp. Please let there be a stamp. There's a red stamp on it. The Sealy responded. Fantastic. This is wonderful. My troubles are at an end. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am. Let's take a look at what it wrote. Thank you for your letter. Though I have extended a response, I cannot answer your query due to your questionable motives. Questionable motives? Me? Wait, huh? Okay, let's see. Completing a thesis requires independent thought and work. You planned on using my knowledge to complete your paper's most critical portions. That's not right. However, considering that your deadline is fast approaching, and that there is substance to the content in the completed sections of your thesis, I've decided to help you nonetheless. Follow the hints I've left, and you will find the answer to your question. Consider the effort you put into thinking and searching as your payment for my knowledge. What the... It's absolutely right about everything. Oh, I'm starting to feel guilty now. I can't deny any of it. But I'm running out of time. Oh, what should I do? Huh? I could tell you're a very kind person, but I never expected that you'd go this far to help me. I'll definitely think of a way to make it up to you once I take care of my thesis. Okay, let's start by looking at the hint it left us. It should be on the second page. The first clue lies hidden on the road of wisdom. The headstrong child finally sees the world for how big it truly is, filled with awe, yet struck with fear. That's it? Not even a picture or any other marking to go off of. This is pretty abstract. What's this road of wisdom and who's the child? Possibly. That sounds like a natural conclusion. So, is the road of wisdom the road that leads to the academia then? Wait, I think I get what it means by the child and awe and fear. When I first left home, it took me days to reach Sumeru City. I was completely shocked when I first saw it with my own eyes. It was so grand and awe-inspiring. Pictures of the city simply don't do it any justice. After seeing the city, a thought popped into my head. Am I really worthy of this place? Worry, fear, or whatever you want to call it. If I'm connecting the dots correctly, then I think I know where the Sealy is leading us. But how does it know my feelings so well? You have a point. There's nothing special about my background or experiences. It could be anyone's. Anyway, let's go take a look. We should be close. This is the way I came when I first traveled to Sumeru City. Aw, it's been way too long since I last visited home. No, this isn't the time for that kind of talk. We have to hurry and find the clues that the Sealy left behind. It is. Relying solely on what the Sealy said might not be viable. Assuming the Sealy is intentionally linking the clues to my past, I think I have an idea. So this is a little embarrassing. At that time, the sight of Sumeru City was absolutely mesmerizing. I was anxious, but also excited about all the things to come. I was distracted and accidentally stepped on an Avidia leopard's tail. I didn't notice it at all. The poor thing was sound asleep, and after I stepped on its tail, it bolted straight up. I freaked out and ran as fast as I could. There were actually more Avidia leopards sleeping nearby, and they were all faster than me. I almost got bitten a couple of times. Good thing someone from the Eremites heard me shouting for help. They managed to scare off the leopards. Yeah, but when I finally managed to calm myself down, I noticed that the talisman my mother had made for me was missing. It's extremely precious to me. Ever since I was little, I would always carry it with me whenever I'm doing something important. I also had it with me when the academia conducted its selection exam at my village. I checked my bag at least a dozen times to make sure the talisman was in there. I feel much more at ease knowing that I have it with me. I had thought that it would also help me calm my nerves in Sumeru City, but I ended up losing it before I even finished registration at the academia. Yeah, and that's when I started having sleeping problems. I just began to sleep less and less each day. Losing a talisman like that is definitely a bad omen. Oh, sorry. I'm starting to ramble again. What were we talking about before? Oh, right. Why the Sealy led us here. I think we should look around where the Avidia leopards attacked me. If the Sealy is trying to make me remember things that happened in the past, it would make the most sense for it to hide clues in memorable locations. Aw, hope the Sealy's clue wasn't also torn to shreds by Avidia leopards. Yeah, that's the only way we'll know for sure. Sure enough, it's here. And in a really obvious place. That pretty much confirms my hunch about the Sealy's intentions. I don't know, but how did it know about all these details? I've hardly told anyone about this stuff. It's not hiding somewhere and spying on me, is it? Oh, that's a scary thought. Anyway, let's look at the clue we found. Seems like you haven't forgotten about your very first failure. See? It knows everything. I have no idea what's going on. No wonder the Sealy is becoming legendary. Let's keep reading the clue. I've placed the second clue where heaven meets water. The answer, seemingly amongst the stars, was ultimately washed to some unremarkable place downstream. Just as I thought. It's something to do with me again. If the first clue was any indication, then the location described in this clue should also be related to my life experiences. Most Ratawaist research is related to studying the stars. My own thesis work often requires me to go in the field and collect astrological data. And, let's just say there's another devastating and unforgettable failure I had. But that can't be helped, right? We do many things not because we want to, but because we have to. Let's keep moving. It might be hard to believe, but being out and about is making me feel a lot better than usual. We're here. That's the spot. That's where I performed my first field observation after enrolling at the academia. I borrowed some equipment from the school and came here on a perfectly clear day. Everything was ready to go and I was positive that I'd be able to get some great data. But the equipment was a little heavy and I didn't notice that the ground was muddy and some spots were unstable. After I finished setting up everything, part of the ground suddenly shifted and my equipment started teetering over. I rushed over to grab hold of it, but I ended up tripping over another piece of equipment. The next thing I knew, everything was covered with muddy water. Oh, me and all my equipment. You must be wondering how someone can be so clumsy. You wouldn't be wrong for thinking that. I don't sleep much, so I get lightheaded pretty often. It's a vicious cycle. The less I sleep, the more mistakes I make. The more mistakes I make, the harder it is for me to sleep. I just got a minor fracture, so I had to rest at B. Marston for a while. To pay off the damages to the equipment, I took some part-time jobs. I just went to work whenever I couldn't sleep. It took me forever to pay off what I owed. Bingo. The pressure from my studies and debt was crushing me, and I didn't want to tell my family about any of it. After all, I am the legendary Layla who made it into the academia at a young age. And had never failed an assignment in her life. Of course, I've even considered giving up on my studies completely and returning home to help care for the Sumter beast, but that would be kind of embarrassing. I don't mean that I'd be embarrassed in front of others. I mean that I'd be ashamed of myself. After all, everything I've done up till now is only a result of my own decisions. Although, it hasn't always been smooth sailing, and sometimes things don't go my way. I made it this far on my own. There haven't been any major incidents with my studies, and I even managed to pay off the equipment damages. But I guess I'm exaggerating a bit. Most of it is still due to the help of some unknown person rather than my own work. And that's exactly why they mustn't ever find out. Once I finally manage to acclimate to life in Sumeru City, I'll show them my success. I hope that day will come eventually. Anyways, let's continue looking for the next clue. It should be around here somewhere. An unremarkable place downstream was the description. Here, it's over here. Good thing it's dry. I was worried the message might be wet. Let's see. Have you found it? The unremarkable place downstream. Well, of course. How else could I be reading this message? Seriously. I've placed the third hint at a crossroad without a cross. You can turn left or right, but turning back shouldn't be an option. They're actually getting clearer for me. I was sort of expecting this even before I read the message. I don't know if the clues are following a timeline or if they're based on the amount of regret I have. Either way, this incident was bound to come up sooner or later. Would someone really go to all this trouble just to pull off some prank? I can't make heads or tails of it. Anyway, just follow me. I'll save the story for when we get there. This is the place that immediately came to mind when the hint mentioned a crossroad. I came here to conduct some astrological observation once. Everything went smoothly on the way, and I thought I was starting to get used to life at the academia. But just as I was about to set up the observation equipment, I heard a strange sound coming from nearby. I made my way here and discovered a bunch of bandits robbing someone. They were a group of treasure hoarders, and the family that was being mugged looked completely helpless. They definitely wouldn't have been able to escape, and simply handing over their Mora might not have been enough to make the bandits go away. Not exactly. I already had a vision by that time. Someone with a vision should technically be really powerful, right? Handling a group of treasure hoarders should be well within my abilities. However, I didn't know how to channel the power of the elements to fight at that time, and I was super scared. I wielded immense power, but I didn't feel any stronger than just an ordinary person. Then, I ran away. I scrambled towards Sumeru City looking for help. Eventually, I managed to return with a few adventurers I ran into along the way. It took longer than I had hoped, and by the time we made it back here, the treasure hoarders and the family were gone. I don't know if the family only lost their belongings in the end, or if something worse happened to them. I faced a lot of problems after coming to Sumeru City, but this incident is one that I regret the most. I sat on the ground and began to cry. I could have stepped in to help that family. Would it have ended differently if I were just a little braver? Aw, thank you for trying to comfort me, but I can't stop myself from thinking that way. It's just as the silly said. Turning back shouldn't be an option. However, I can't help but think about running away whenever I'm faced with a challenge. You're right. The more challenging it gets, the harder I should try. I'm feeling calmer now. nearby. We're probably getting close now. Let's search this area. Ah, here it is, just as I thought. The Sealy must have placed it here in advance. Let's see what we have this time. Whatever it is, I'm ready. Huh? It's a picture? Guess not. This house looks like it's in Vimara Village. Does the Sealy want us to go there? I can't think of any connection I have with Vimara Village, though. I've only been there once, and it was pretty uneventful. Whatever the case, the only way we'll know is if we go there. Thanks, but I'm fine. I'm used to pushing my limits. I know how far I can go. Let's see. This should be the place. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Maybe the Sealy didn't prepare anything for us this time. Or does it want us to knock on the door first? If we're wrong about this, it'll be super awkward. You're right. I can't always be like this. Sometimes it's better to take action than overthink every little thing. Hello? Is anyone home?
Coming! Just a moment. Oh, it's you, Layla. How nice of you to stop by again.
Huh? Do you know me?
That's no way to greet a friend. Of course I know you. Is this a friend of yours? Or perhaps a classmate?
A friend. I'm having a little trouble with my thesis, and we happened to be passing by. I don't know either. I don't even know where to begin. I recognized him immediately. He's one of the people that was getting robbed by the treasure hoarders. But he shouldn't know anything about me. He shouldn't even know who I am. Yeah, but that was before the robbery. I was just passing through. Even if he saw me, he wouldn't know who I am. He didn't notice me during the robbery.
Is something the matter?
I appreciate your kindness, but I really can't remember how we met. I'm sorry.
So you aren't joking? Do you still remember when my family and I were being robbed by a gang of treasure hoarders?
Yes, but I don't think I was of much help to you all.
How so? You told us everything yourself the last time we met. My family and I were surrounded by treasure hoarders, and I didn't know what to do. But then, we heard people approaching in the distance. Those treasure hoarders were the first to hear them coming and started to flee the moment they sensed the situation wasn't going their way. They didn't even bother taking anything with them. I wasn't sure what had happened, but the treasure hoarders were scared off. I immediately grabbed my wife and child and got out of there.
Oh, I see. I'm so glad that you and your family were unharmed.
I thought it was a party of adventurers that happened to pass by, but later you told me that you had spotted us and ran to find help. You were amazing. You managed to keep a level head even in the midst of danger. I know you have a vision, so those treasure hoarders wouldn't have been a match for you. But they might have harmed me and my family if their backs were pushed against the wall.
that's not exactly what happened. I still regret not helping out sooner. Anyway, when did I come here last? I don't seem to remember.
It's been some time, but not too long ago. I don't recall exactly when. What's wrong? Nothing's coming to mind?
Nope. I'm sorry. I still can't seem to remember even after everything you've told me. Maybe I'm just under too much pressure.
You came over and ate with us, and you played games with my son. If only we had taken a picture. Oh, you forgot a package here from that visit. You'll definitely remember once you see it. Wait here, I'll go fetch it.
A package? I left a package here? Wait! This is it! This is the talisman that I lost, the one that my mother made for me. Yes, this is definitely it. She made it herself. It's the only one of its kind. There's also a letter here. Was I planning to send it to someone? Let's see who the recipient is. To Layla? No! I swear I've never done anything like that. What is going on? Let's open it and see what this is all about. Hello, Layla. It must have been quite the endeavor to follow the Sealy's hints all the way here. Great work. Self-reflection is a wonderful quality to possess, but you'll only end up hurting yourself if you overdo it. Failure is a stranger to no one. The purpose of self-reflection is not to indulge in the pain of failure, but to succeed in your next attempt. If you're reading this letter, then you have succeeded in taking the first step. On the back of this letter is the core information that your thesis is lacking. It's actually been done for a while now. It only feels inconclusive because it's missing a concise summary to tie it all together. I hope that this journey has provided insight for your life ahead. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you courage as you carry onward and hope that you fulfill the expectations you hold. Always watching over you. Sincerely, the Wisdom Sealy. Oh. I thought we were going to fail. I thought that everything we did and all the time we spent was for nothing. But the Sealy wasn't messing with me after all. I doubt it. I mean, unless I somehow came here while I was unconscious and don't remember it. Although, having said that, I have heard rumors claiming that I sleepwalk a lot. But even then, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually the Wisdom Sealy. It could have just helped me while I was sleepwalking. I'll write back and ask to meet with the Sealy and see how it responds. Even though I still have a lot of questions, this experience was fruitful enough. If it wasn't for your encouragement, I probably would have quit halfway through and holed up in the academia somewhere. Perseverance really does pay off.
I'm not sure if I understand what has happened, but it's something good, right?
Yes, it's something really, really good, and I'm very thankful for it.
Well then, since you're already here, why don't you stay and have something to eat? We just finished preparing some food.
Oh,
Come on, don't be a stranger. Your friend should join us as well. You can leave your troubles until after the meal. You must relax and gather your strength so you can take on the challenges ahead, am I right?
alright. Thank you all. I can do this.